Well, Pastor Jeff, good morning.
Good morning,
It's
Pastor
time for another edition
of Inform.
Well, Brother Jeff, we're joined this morning by a lot of special guests.
Yes.
We're all here for one purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We have a very important ministry here at MCC that we're all very supportive of.
Yes.
And want to encourage each of you, if you haven't yet, to please consider joining one of our freedom groups. Brother Dennis, tell us when they're starting this next time.
Glad to be here. They start Monday, September 9th at 6:30 p.m. and run until 8 o'clock.
Okay, and that'll be for how long?
Be 13 weeks.
It's a great study, guys. It's for a lot of reasons. It'll help you really get growing in your faith. Well, and Ms. Terry, why don't you tell us the groups that are already starting?
We have a men's group and a women's group that will meet on Monday nights. But if we get enough people, we may also have groups that meet on Thursday nights.
That'd be great. So a lot of opportunities there. And how can they let us know if they're still interested?
Well, they can either call myself or my husband Dennis, or they can just turn in a card that will be in the bulletin at church on Sunday.
All right. So let us know. We'd be glad to start another group on another night to help you out. Brother Mike, you had something you want to share about Freedom
I
Group?
do. I think it's important that people know that there's a foundation for this process that we're talking about. And it's based upon the concept of a hospital church. Came out in James Reeves' book, Refuge.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a little bit from the foreword on that book I'd like to share.
Okay.
This person said, "It doesn't happen every day that a book this timely is birthed and so experientially written. James Reeves has followed God's call to build a church that echoes Christ to call everyone who is tired and weighed down. In this book, James calls your church to be a church that provides a place for rest. Refuge first emphasizes the benefits of a hospital church ministry. Second, the basis of why to change. Third, the basics of how to change. Fourth, the big issue all churches will face. And fifth and last, beginning the change." If this book is adopted, which we have,
Yes.
and championed by a congregation, that means everyone in the body
Yes.
buys in, it will see the change that Christ has called all churches to be. And I can't think of a better reason to be a part of that. I will just tell you from my own experience that it is life-changing.
Absolutely.
And I know that people may be reluctant to sign up. They may think they have to have some really major addiction or something. But everyone has issues that can be resolved or worked through if they participate in these groups.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, Pastor Jeff, you've got a brochure. Most of us do. We have these brochures available. Right inside there, kind of lists some of the things that, if you're struggling with any of these things,
Yeah.
kind of read a few of those.
Testimonies. And yeah, well, depression, anger, confusion. I mean, how many of us get confused? See? Irritability, constant irritability, judgmental attitude, addictions, which Mike already touched on. But just, there could be all kinds of things you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
And it can be a barrier between, or a wall between you and Christ, or you and God, and you don't even know it.
And
You
it's
don't
a
even
tremendous
realize how it's
way
affecting you.
to help you, as Mike was pointing out there earlier, to help you recognize what they are, what this baggage is you're carrying around. And then what we can do about it.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to know something, it's another thing to do something about it. And this is such a great study. And as Brother Mike said, it's for everybody. I mean, everybody. We took the course when it first began, and I've told people several times, again, personal experience, that I went into it thinking, I'm all right. I certainly don't have anything that needs to be fixed. But I thought you guys would equip me to better help other people. But I wasn't in there more than 2 weeks to realize this ain't about y'all. This really is about me.
It is.
I've got baggage. I've got things I need to deal with. And it has helped me grow through those things. It really, really has. So we encourage you to take one of our freedom groups, make that a priority. We'd like for the entire congregation to have gone through our freedom groups.
Absolutely.
And one of the neat things is how many people, and you don't have to say, but I mean how many people we get to see who've taken it once, who will come back and take it again.
We've never had anybody go through it who didn't have a strong testimony about their experience.
Absolutely.
That speaks volumes.
Absolutely. Never heard a bad thing, or a waste of time, or anything like that. All of it's been good. The brochure's full of testimonies from
Yep.
folks of how it has impacted them. Pastor, do you have anything you want to add about it?
No, you can get the information. They got a little table outside the Welcome Center. There's
Yes.
a page on our website dedicated with information, or you can come to people who've been through it and are involved with it. They'll answer any question you can have.
Yes.
But I encourage you, if nothing else, at least start to look into these things. Start now and see what freedom groups are really about.
Okay?
And we'll be available on Sundays or anytime, really, to answer any questions that you might have about freedom groups. It may seem scary at first.
Sure. But it's really not, guys. It's one of the most bonding and blessed events that you'll take part in. I really believe that. Now, one more thing that's going to be happening around here starting this Sunday.
Yeah, this week begins.
We
Yeah.
start a new sermon series.
Yeah. I'm excited about this one too.
Yes.
I don't know what God's going to do with it, but it's going to be.
I'm going to give you a sneak preview. It's called Truth, but we're going back to the old X-Files. You all remember the X-Files?
Oh, yeah.
Their tagline was, "The truth is out there, and we want to believe."
Very good.
What our Truth series is the truth is in here, in the Word of God, and we can believe.
Yeah.
So join us as we explore the truth of God's Word as it applies to our lives each day. Guys, we have wonderful things happening around MCC all the time. We want you to invite you to be a part of each one of them. Every weekend, Sunday school at 9 o'clock for every age in your family. 10 o'clock, we share in some great family worship.
Yeah, so come and see what God has in store for you and this community around us.